In this video I'm going to show you how to make drum and bass like Black Sun Empire. Black Sun Empire have been around since the 1990s and they're actually as old as me. And in today's video we're going to take inspiration from one of their tracks called Pull the Trigger. Now this trio are known for their heavy neurofunk drum and bass. Really heavy old school style drums, a heavy kick, a massive snare and nice percussion mixed with some really interesting sound design, and we're going to look at all that today. The samples and presets used in this video are from my Neuro DnB sample pack. This project template is also in it as well, available on FL Studio, Ableton, and the stems are available as well. If you want to grab that, then it's the first link down below. It's one of the heaviest packs I've made yet. So this is the project here. It's 174 BPM. It's in G minor, and what we're going to do first is go through the drums. Then we'll look at these basses here, and then finally we'll look at the build-up that I've created to go with the drop. So first, let's look at the drums. So we've got 8 bars of drums here, and I'm going to recreate the first 4 bars for you. So if you want to follow along with ease, then this project template is available free download. There's a link down below for that. Grab that, download it, open it up, and you'll have the same setup as me. So we're going to start with Neuro Kick 2, and we're going to put this in kick drum 1 slot on the first beat and halfway across the third one like this. And then we can just duplicate this across like this. Just pressing Ctrl B there and then dragging it across. Next we want to grab snare 2. That out is a little bit on it like that. And we're going to put it on the second beat and the fourth beat. And then we can just duplicate that as well. Ctrl B. I'm just pressing Ctrl and dragging to grab them all, and Ctrl B again. And then we get this pattern, which I'll show you the mix down. You can see we're mixing pretty loud here. Now we need to add some groove, so we can do this with percussion elements like hi-hats. So let's grab Neuro Hat 3, and we're going to put this every single beat. So one here, one here, one here, one here, and then we just duplicate this. Ctrl B, grab them all, Ctrl B, boom. Now if you want to add even more groove, you can come here and drag the velocity on each one, and then it creates a little bit more groove because they're playing at different levels. It gives your ear like more to work with. Next we're going to add Neuro Hat 12, and the pitch is just turned down 1 semitone, and this is going to match the first hat every single beat, but you can see it's a little bit longer, so it's going to create an overlap with this one that's going to add more groove. So we can again just do Ctrl B. And now you can hear there's something playing at all times, so it adds consistency, and that also adds groove as well. Next we'll get Neuro Crash 1, and just put this on the very first beat every 4 bars. So it just hits when the drop hits, adds a little bit more to it. I don't always put crashes on the first beat, it just worked in this case. A lot of the time it doesn't work, so just be careful with that. Next we're going to add some final groove just in one of the sections, so in this section. And first we'll grab Neuro Clap 2, and the out is turned up a lot on this to make it snappy. And we're going to pop it right here. And then finally we're going to grab Ride 1, and we're going to pop this here like that. Might just turn this down slightly, it's a bit loud. That adds a nice little bit of groove. So if we play it from the start, you can see it just adds an extra little bit of groove. Now feel free to experiment, add more groove if you want. And on the mixer channel, it looks like this. You can see the kick is the loudest, snare second loudest, and then the hi-hats coming in a little bit quieter. And then it comes all the way to this drum bus where it's coming in pretty loud. And then it goes to the master channel. You can see it's being pushed quite a lot. There's 4.5 gain reduction on there. So now let's look at these basses. So let's look at the melody first. So it starts with this wobble bass followed by a lead bass that pitches up gradually, and then the wobble bass plays again but plays a little bit of a melody. So let's listen to it. So that's sounding pretty cool. Now let's recreate the very first bass. So this is a Neuro wobble and it's called Skank from the Neuro DnB pack. It sounds like that. And now let's recreate it. So let's go to full screen mode. And the first thing we'll do is add a sub bass, -2. And we're going to put it on this shape here, this like triangle shape. Next, we're going to come to oscillator A, and we're going to put it on monster setting. So you can find this in spectral and then monster 1. Put it down -2 octaves. And then we're just going to change this wavetable position all the way around. You see how it's getting like really crazy now. I'm going to put it to 171. Then we'll put the unison up to 4. We want to keep the rand on here to give that unison some really good effect. And then we'll turn the level off. Let's come to oscillator B now. We'll go to basic shapes in analog. We'll turn it to number 2 like this and put it down -2 octaves as well. We'll also turn the level off. So currently we don't have any sound, but that's going to change very soon. Next, let's put some noise on. And we're going to put this on bright white. So in analog, bright white. And we'll turn this off as well. Now we need to create the shape on the LFO, retrigger mode. And we're going to go to this dot mode here because this adds some really cool groove. And we're going to go to 1/8 dot. Now we're just going to change the shape slightly. So something like this, and maybe a little bit like that. Very subtle. And this is going to create that groove. This line here. And now let's go through and apply this LFO to different areas. So let's just turn this level down slightly and then apply the LFO to the sub. We're going to apply it to the level of oscillator A and then do this at 37%. Apply it to oscillator B, do it about 65-ish%, and then apply the LFO to the noise at about 30%. Now let's listen. Got the base of the sound there. Now to get the right frequencies out, we need to come to the effects tab and apply an EQ first. What we're going to do is try and remove some of the muddiness first. So about 470-ish, between like 300 and 500 is where you normally get your like muddiness. I'm going to turn it on the bell shape, and then we're going to turn this down to like -17-ish and apply LFO 1 to the frequency and just put this backwards like this. So it moves into like the 300 zone as well. So it's creating like an extra wobble whilst also removing the muddiness, which is pretty cool. We can also apply the LFO to the high end. If you do this and this happens, just press Shift Alt and click to get it to go one way, and then just turn it down like -1 and then turn this down to like halfway. And we can change this so it affects more of the mid to high end. We could go all the way back here if we want to. Now let's get more of the frequencies to come out. So let's go to a filter. And then let's go to band reject. So this is in MISC. And then down here, let's change the cutoff right down to about 120-ish. Turn the drive up to like 80%. And there we go. We start to get these sounds coming out now. Finally, let's add a compressor, multiband, turn the gain up. And then what we're going to do is we can turn the highs up a tiny bit, turn the mids up a tiny bit. But then if we just blow up the bass to max, we start to get this sound. Let's actually turn this around all the way off because it's creating a little bit of an inconsistency. And then if you don't want it to redline up here, you can turn this right down. And then we get this really cool sound, aggressive sound. Now let's add it to the right channel, so channel 21. And if we come to the mix down, you can see we haven't got much on it, just a kickstart to doing the sidechain, a Pro L. But we have got a load of reverb on it. So this is being sent to the reverb channel here, and it's on like 57%, you can see down here. And then we've just got a reverb 2 on it. I normally use Valhalla Room, but you can just play around with different ideas, and then it's just cutting out the low end because we don't want any reverb in the low end. You only want reverb in the high end. So it's adding that nice layer to it. Then this is maxed out on the Pro L. You can see, we can turn it up even more. You want a little bit of gain reduction. So it's maxing out, and then we just turn it down a dB or so on the bass bus channel. So the drums are still the loudest element. And there you go. So the melody you can see very clearly in G minor like this. There is no sub bass, but you can add a sub bass underneath if you want. I thought it sounded pretty cool without one. But if you want to add a sub bass, then I recommend watching my Noisia video that I made last week. If you wait till the end of the video, then I'll link that video there and you can go back and watch that and see the sub bass in action as well. We do have a sub bass, but it's on the lead channel, which we're going to go through next. So now let's recreate the lead bass. So oscillator A -2, rand off, oscillator B basic mini, rand off, unison 4, noise on, leave it like this, come to the effects tab, distortion first, drive up, compressor, multiband, turn the below up for more fatness, turn the highs up, the lows up, And then we want to turn all these up a bit, so just max them out. Next, let's get an EQ in. We'll cut out the low end because we're going to add a sub later on. And then we'll just do something like this. Let's add chorus. And then just turn this down, turn the mix down slightly, turn the depth down slightly. Now what we want to do is add that pitch up, put the LFO1 on the envelope, put the rate to 2 bar, and then we're going to do a gradual increase. Turn this down like this, and then we want to come to the matrix, grab LFO1 source, and then put the amount on 4% because we want it to be very gradual. Destination, come here, global main tuning, and then when we press play now, it should gradually increase in pitch. There you go, and you can mess with the figures if you want it to go faster. Then if we apply this to channel 22, we just want to put our sub bass underneath it. The sub bass is here. It looks like this. The low power sub bass, which is just this bin 3 drawn on here to make this shape. It sounds like this. And when they're combined together, you get this here. So you get the lowness with the lead highness madness. So that is the drop done. Let's look at the build up quickly. I'll just take you through some of the elements I added in. So we've just got the kick doing a normal build up. It just doubles and then doubles. So you see here it's playing every beat, then it doubles that, and then it doubles again, and then the pre-drop comes in here, so it stops. And we've just got the kick frequency being affected here. I love using little EQ things like this, so you can see it on here, just automating this. And then we've just got some build-up effects. So 3 different build-ups I've found in Splice, and they just sound like this. And then here. We've added some extra sounds. So we've got this sound here. I don't know what pack this is from. I don't know if it's from the factory settings or not, but there are also some really cool ones in the factory settings of Serum 2 now. And then we just got another bass from the pack, the gravel one. And then we've got this loop from Splice. This is gradually being filtered out. And then we've got this vocal just before the drop, which just goes, which I thought was pretty cool. And then we've got this Dread Gunman vocal, which I think is from that Jungle Free pack. I'll leave a link down below if you want to grab that. It's got a few very well-known vocal samples in, which you'll recognize a lot from tracks. So let's listen to it now all the way through. And that's the track complete. If you want to learn how to make music like this consistently, then make sure to check out my Music Production Academy. We've got loads of awesome people inside now. It's definitely not one to miss out on. Check out the Neuro DnB sample pack to grab loads and loads of samples, presets, and project templates like this one. And if you want to watch that Noisia video that I mentioned earlier, where I get inspired from the track Dust Up by Noisia, then that video is here to watch. It breaks down drums, more basses, more vocals, more build-ups, and really awesome stuff like that.